Hey guys, Matt Malone here. Now, I recently got to try NASCAR 25, the brand new game coming October 14th from iRacing Studios. Now, couple caveats. I never really played any of the old NASCAR games. My only baseline is iRacing. I've been playing that for like 10 years. But this is just a video. I'll have a much more extensive video later on when I put together some of the footage that was created over the last couple days. But these are just my initial thoughts on playing the game. Played it for like half hour, 40 minutes. The game was running on a PC and we were using Xbox controllers. Now the game obviously does and will have wheel support when it gets fully released. I saw the option in the settings, but they just had us using Xbox controllers. So in that regard, it was kind of tough to kind of judge some of the like physics and stuff. But overall, it's presented very clean and very smooth. It's got great graphics. It ran really well. So what do they have in the game? They got ARCA, Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup Series. They got all the drivers. You pick them. It's got great little, like, it's got a great menu and cutscenes and stuff. And, there's even an area where you're like pulling out of the garage and the guy's like, come on, let's go, doing practice qualifying and the races and stuff. What surprised me is the amount of tracks they had. It's probably 20 to 30 tracks, including some road courses. I tried out Watkins Glen and the Chicago Street Course. The Chicago Street Course did graphically look much different than in iRacing. It's just a different look, and I know that it's all based on the iRacing scans, the in-car and the tracks, but it just seemed to be presented in a little bit better, cleaner, more vibrant way, if that makes sense. So yeah, the amount of tracks was surprising. I tried out Bristol. Bristol was really cool because everything's just packed in. As far as driving the actual game, it is very forgiving, and I had it on like whatever settings that they had, but I did check out all the settings. You can change almost everything to your liking to make it super hard, super difficult. Change the AI. You can change the draft. It was just set at 50% draft, I guess is what they would deem like normal or whatever, but you can take it all the way down or all the way up. Seems like you can really tailor it to whatever type of difficulty setting that you want. Now, as far as the cameras that you can use, you can do nose, where you're basically the camera's like on the ground. You can do hood, and then they have 2 cockpit cameras, which were really good. It looked just like iRacing, like a zoomed in. There was one that was like kind of zoomed in cockpit mode, and then one that was backed up a little bit so you can see much more of the interior. And they said that it will support like ultra wide monitors, so one of those cockpits will work really well. I used mostly in cockpit. I'm used to the cockpit view, so that's what I used mostly, and it was very very natural for me to use the cockpit view. But also because they didn't have it's coming, they said that they're working on the look left and look right option. So they didn't have it while we were playing, but a look left and a look right option will be available when the game gets released. October 14th. Did I mention that? October 14th, it's coming up. So you guys will be able to try it then. They went into, they showed us career mode. We didn't try career mode. They showed us career mode. And it was actually pretty cool because, you create your own driver's name, and there's like this little like garage / house area that you start, and it's really humble at first, and then as you progress, and there's different goals that you have to meet during like practice and qualifying in the races, and then you progress through it. And then what's kind of crazy is sometimes they said to like kind of change the career path or like kind of plot points of your career, is that there's all of a sudden like a JR download video that you watch, and there's like a bunch of different ones, and it'll show like a clip of a JR download podcast, the junior podcast that he does, and he's like talking about like your career, like in vague terms, you know, and like maybe something happens. Maybe they said that maybe your hauler got in an accident and you got to like pay money, or something happens where maybe you get a new sponsor, or it's like it's going to change the trajectory of your career based on like these random or like little JR pop-ups. So that was kind of cool. And then because you have like you have your amount of money, and then you have like your status, and then you have like your damage credits or something to like fix damage and stuff. So you have all this resource management basically when you're progressing through your career. But yeah, you start basically at the bottom and you got to work yourself up all the way to the Cup Series. And they said as you progress through the different series, you know, go from ARCA to Trucks to Xfinity to Cup, like your little home base, your little home with your garage like gets upgraded and stuff. And I guess they didn't show us, but I guess you can go into the garage and stuff and work on different stuff. So as far as career mode, that seems pretty cool. But as far as like you enter into practice, and there's just small little cut scenes, but it's legit. Like it's nice cinematic cameras, and then you're in the cockpit. So that was pretty cool. I just got some notes here I'm looking at, but basically you can tailor it any way you want to make it as difficult as you want, but there's a lot of little goals that you have to meet to progress. So like get a top 5 in quali or finish top 10 in the race, and that's how you progress through the deal. But as far as I went into the settings, and you can change the AI settings, you can change the difficulty, you can change the realism, you can change a lot of different stuff. I went in there and I was looking, and I'm like, wow, you can really make it however you want. But as far as the game is pretty forgiving, you know, I'm on a controller. It was super easy to do donuts. You just crank it all the way one way and hit the gas, and you're just doing donuts. And the camera's nice and smooth and like far chase and everything. And that was pretty nice. But as far as just the presentation of the game, it's very clean and smooth. It ran well, and just vibrant and bright. And some of the AI, they said they're still working on some of the AI. They were side by side. The problem with AI, sometimes they all just run in a line, you know. But I was getting side by side with some of the AI, and they weren't being very passive. So that's good news. So the pit stop. So if you can push a button and you can request a pit stop. So, like, if you're in practice, qualifying, or a race, not qualifying, I guess you wouldn't pit and quali, but if you're driving around and you want to come in for a pit stop for whatever reason, you just request it. The game will actually, like, pause if you're going through it to, like, change what your pit strategy is, like change tires or fix some damage, stuff like that. And then you actually do drive into the pits and then stop at your box. But I didn't see any like pit crew in like graphically presented. There was no pit crew, so that may change. But then when in an actual race, I forced the caution flag. So the caution comes out, then you choose whether or not you want to do a pit stop, and the same kind of options pop up as far as like tires and damage and all that stuff. And then you choose your strategy, and then boom, it skips right ahead, and all of a sudden you're going green again, basically. So that part's all automated. So you don't even stop in your box or anything at that point. You just choose your strategy, say let's go, and then it skips ahead and you're going back green again. So that's that, because I was really interested in that. And then also there was the choose cone, and Casey asked about it because you can see the big chevron on the track. And as of right now, it's not in the game. It's just on the track. So maybe eventually they'll add the choose cone, but it's there, but it's not there. You know what I mean? So that's pretty interesting. I think that's really about it as far as some of the and then for career mode, you know, you put in your name and all that stuff, and then there was an area where it said logo. So I asked about that, and they didn't really show us any of that stuff, but they said it's going to be really cool to be able to paint your own car, create your own logo, and all this stuff. That's really all I got, but it's supposedly going to be pretty dang custom, and I'm pretty interested with that because, if you're like, race car driver and you're trying to make your career and get all the way to Cup Series and win the championship, like you want to have like a really cool paint and really cool logo to get through the career. So, but yeah, overall, like I said, it was very limited. I'm on an Xbox controller, so it's kind of tough. But just seeing the game, like it's been a long time since I played a console game, and it just seemed really well presented, really stout with all the options and the settings and all the different series. I mean, I kind of thought maybe like Xfinity and Cup or something, but it goes all the way from ARCA, Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup, the series, and a bunch of tracks, and the career mode. Like I said, it's just kind of a sneak peek into the career mode, but I like the concept of the garage and all your different resources that you have to manage and all that stuff. How long is this video? 10 minutes. Okay. Well, guys, listen, I'm back streaming, so come to twitch.tv/Matt Malone. If you got any questions, we can talk through it. But these are basically my initial thoughts on NASCAR 25 coming October 14th to Xbox and PlayStation, but then it'll be a while before it gets released on PC, I guess. And I think I got a buddy that has a Xbox Series S, so I may try to do that. I don't know, just to try it out. So, because I want to try it with a wheel. That's when it's gonna get good. Get a wheel going and start running laps that way. See how it is. So, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, and let me know down in the comments if you're gonna be buying it right away. If you're super excited for it. If you have any experience with the old games, like I said, I don't have any experience with the older NASCAR games, but I feel like this could be, if it goes well, this was like a resurgence of the NASCAR game. So hopefully it does well, and hopefully everybody likes it, and yeah, everybody can enjoy it. So thanks for watching.